right, so Kennedy, Harrison, and Truman. Hi, I'm Davey. Nice to meet you. Welcome back home. So, yeah. And I just learned you have a role with Spectra, is that right? Yeah. So working with Mara and that whole team.
Yeah, I'm the same program.
Same Spectra, right? Good. Awesome.
Yeah, we actually
Oh, no kidding. A lot. Oh, nice. Well, the connections are still deep. And the -2 is not too shocking. No. Yep, exactly. Office, sure. We joke about that. The real reason is the home office recalled her, right? No more working at home. So, wife Kathy, and I have 2 adult kids, so 29 and 26. One's in Atlanta, newly married, and then the other's in New York City. Okay. So, working on Broadway. Good. Not as an actor. So, still fun. Still fun. Yep. The cameras are pointed at us. Alex can start. Should I tell everyone, as I usually do, grab a seat? Yeah.
Good morning, everybody. Let me be the first to excitedly welcome everyone to our introductory press conference of the 28th head coach of the University of North Dakota football program, Eric Schmidt. Today we'll have 3 speakers. We'll have President Andrew Armacost, Director of Athletics Bill Chaves, and then head coach Eric Schmidt. Just a brief kind of some ground rules on the format. We'll have opening statements from the 3, and then we'll turn it over to questions from the media for Director of Athletics Bill Chaves and Coach Eric Schmidt. For our media, we do have 2 mic runners, so please raise your hand if you have a question, and we'll find you. On your first question, if you could please give your name and affiliation, that would be well appreciated. After that, if you requested a one-on-one with either Coach Schmidt or Athletic Director Bill Chaves, we'll do those directly behind us in our meeting rooms. So with that, we'll introduce the President of the University of North Dakota, Dr. Andrew Armacost.
Well, it's certainly wonderful to be here, and my name is Andy Armacost. My affiliation is University of North Dakota. I proudly serve as the president and have been in this role for just over 4.5 years, and I'm thrilled that you're all here today. Such an important announcement as we talk about the future of the University of North Dakota football program. And today we welcome Eric Schmidt and his family, Tiffany and Harrison and Truman and Kennedy. Thanks so much for being here, and you are the stars of the day, and we're so delighted to have you rejoin the UND community now as our head football coach. How about a round of applause for the Schmidts? And over the weekend, as the discussions were unfolding, I had a chance to spend, it was about 30 minutes on the phone with Eric just to hear about his vision for the University of North Dakota football program and how he will lead. He'll lead as a winner. He'll lead as the developer of these young men as human beings, both on and off the field. And I know that your commitment to them as whole people will really have a lifelong impact on them. And that's what we're about. We're about winning, and we're about winning the right way. And we know that you're going to do that in many, many ways. Of course, Eric's going to build on the amazing foundation laid by Coach Bubba Schweigert and the foundation that he's laid, and so many coaches and players that preceded both of them, and also that laid a foundation for our transition into the Division I era of football here at the University of North Dakota. And in a moment, we'll hear from Bill Chaves to give more detail about Eric's background and what he brings to the program. But I'll say this publicly and proudly, of course, that football in the Dakotas is the best in all of the FCS. And I know for a fact that Eric is going to usher in an era of University of North Dakota football that builds on the tradition of excellence and brings us not only to a Missouri Valley Football Conference championship, but also to compete in and to win a national championship for the University of North Dakota. So, Eric, welcome. And with that goal laid, just a lofty goal, the good news is I know that Eric shares those goals and the aspirations to make sure these young men get the best program and best experience they possibly can. So let me turn it over to our Director of Athletics, Bill Chaves. Bill, welcome.
Well, thank you, Dr. Armacost. Always great to have the president here at an announcement like this. It just shows the commitment at the highest level at the university, and that's a big deal. It's a huge deal for us, so thank you so much. Exciting day for sure. Days like this don't happen too often in intercollegiate athletics, but here we are today. So, let's celebrate a day like today. But to get here, I need to say a few thank yous. Because it is as you know, in the world of Division I athletics, it is a pretty quick turnaround on things that have to happen in a short amount of time. And first and foremost, Dr. Armacost, thank you for your availability through this process. I have to say thank you to Peg Varberg, our head of human resources. Without her support on campus, none of this would happen, because I'll tell you what, there's every hour in the day there's something going on, so you have to have people available and willing, and it was just tremendous that we had that certainly on the other side of campus. My search committee teammates, Nicole Latovsky and Eric Martinson. It was a few hours that we grinding, as we like to say in the bunker. And so at the end, what Nicole and Eric you did was tremendous. And then lastly, Chad Karthauser, our CFO. Chad, not necessarily a committee member per se, but he stick handled a lot of the back end that no one will ever see. And so thank you, Chad. Really do appreciate it.
Let me just interrupt.
Sure.
And of course, it couldn't have been possible without the leadership of Bill Chaves as well. He won't give himself credit, but I will. So congratulations.
Well, I always like to say that it's the reason why I was hired, right? So at the end of the day, it's just the job I have to do. And it's pleasurable each and every day to be able to support our 360 student athletes. And certainly this is one of 17 sports we have, obviously a critical sport for sure. But at the end of the day, I do it with pleasure. Stood here 9 days ago and mentioned that you never know how a search is going to go. You could do 10 searches and you could get 10 different outcomes. And certainly as the search unfolded, it was really clear that I hoped that we were going to have an awesome process and an awesome result. And I feel like both occurred. And so I couldn't be happier to have Coach Schmidt back on campus. Coach Schmidt's a rising star in the coaching field. We crossed over for a year. I got here at 18. Eric departed in 19, and then went over to a few places with Coach DeBoer, certainly at Fresno State for 2 years, and then Washington for 2 years, and then took on the challenge this past year to be the defensive coordinator at San Diego State to kind of revitalize that particular program. And to be able to have someone that is so thoroughly connected to the University of North Dakota, and then also have been able to go in the last 5 years to places that I think can bring just an amazing amount of information back to us here at UND is going to be just so exciting. The truth of the matter is, just not that long ago, he actually ran out of a tunnel to play for the national championship in the CFP. That is just an amazing accomplishment that he's had in the last 5 years since he departed, but we welcome you back home for sure. So without further ado, this is just the 5th time in 28 head coaches that I can introduce someone that played at the University of North Dakota. With that, your new head football coach, Eric Schmidt.
Wow, lots of people here. It's great to be back home. Say it again, man, it's great to be back home. Honored, humbled to be the head football coach here at the University of North Dakota. A lot of thank yous. Dr. Armacost, I want to thank you for your vision, your leadership, and looking forward to helping you pour into this campus every single day. Off of it, Bill Chaves, Eric Martinson, committee members, hiring committee. Want to thank you guys for the detail and the organization, that went into the process. All right, it was first class, and I really thank you guys for trusting me to be able to lead this program. It means a lot. I need to thank a lot of people, all right, a lot of mentors, a lot of colleagues, all right, that I've had the opportunity to be able to go to battle with, and I've learned a lot from. They're great teammates, and they've made me a better coach and a better person. Dave Keene, Roger Thomas, Dale Lennon, Kalen DeBoer, Sean Lewis, and Bubba Schweigert. I appreciate your friendship, I appreciate your mentorship, and I appreciate you guys for pouring into me and giving me this opportunity here today. Coach Schweigert, appreciate all the heavy lifting that you've done throughout this program the last 11 years and the progress that has happened underneath your leadership. It means a lot. I talked to the players yesterday, and those guys are going through a lot. Something I went through as a player here too as well. There's a coaching change going on. And I just wanted to remind those guys that, hey, this place is special, not because of the people that are on the periphery, all right, that are standing here. This place is special because of the guys in the seats here, the guys that play in between the white lines. That brotherhood is why this place is special. And I can't wait to stand in front of those guys every day and pour into them and teach those guys the way to be able to win a championship and get this place back on top. The vision is simple, all right? We want to make playing football at the University of North Dakota the most incredible experience of these guys' lives up to this point. They're going to go on one day to be husbands and fathers, and they're going to have more memorable days than they've had here. But up to this point in their life, we want to make this the best experience that they've ever had. And we're going to partner with them. All right? That's what coaching is. It's about a partnership. We're going to work every day to try to get the very best out of them that we can. The guys that we bring in here as coaches to be able to develop these guys, they're going to wake up every morning and say, hey, how can I be the best husband? How can I be the best father? And how can I be the best coach that I can be every day? And it will be low ego and high output. It's about the players. It's about making sure they have the best experience that they've ever had in their life up to this point. That's the vision. The goal. Appreciate it. The goal is this, all right? To win the Missouri Valley in the national championship, and to do it with class, to do it with integrity, and to do it with academic excellence. Nobody came here to be average. I talked to the players yesterday. Who wants it? Raise your hand if you want an average life. Raise your hand if you want an average wife or an average husband. Raise your hand if you want an average job. Guys didn't come here because of that. They came here because this place is special. And that's what we're going to make it. There's 5 things that we call the Hawk experience that we want these guys to expect when they walk through the doors. Number 1 is they're going to get a world-class football education. Okay, like I said, we're going to partner with these guys every day, all right, to get the very best out of them that we can. The second thing is personal development, all right? That degree is going to have their name on it, all right? It's going to hang on their wall. We want to make sure that every one of those guys that walks through these doors leaves with a degree. Life skills. And then we live in a first-class city, all right? We can help these guys get shadowships, internships, and set them up for life after football too as well. Third thing is make lifelong relationships. I get it's about W's and L's and wins and losses, but we want these guys to be productive citizens, loving fathers, loving spouses, all right, and present fathers. Coaching to me is about the Christmas cards, it's about the wedding invitations, It's about the phone calls you get down the road, all right? And the experience that these guys have and the leadership and the influence that you've made on them and helping them to be successful. Number 4 is to win the Missouri Valley Conference and win national championships. I've been around a lot of good people. If there's one thing I've learned, it's about the year-round, precise training that you pour into these guys with. The work works, all right? The work works. Our guys just need to roll up their sleeves and go to work. They follow the protocols, this place will take off. We have all the advantages. I got an opportunity this morning to walk through the facilities here, second to none. I've been at some of the best places in the country, all right? High-level Pac-12 schools, and what we've done here is unbelievable. So, Dr. Armenkost, all right, Bill, Bubba, appreciate everything you guys have done. We're going to be able to get some of the best players in the country, all right, to take a look at this place because of the facilities and the people that we put into place here. And then the last thing is community contributors. We want people that want to give back, all right? That's really important for our players to be able to give back to the community. Fans, we need you guys too as well, all right? Teams that win have a following, all right? You cannot win in college football without a community. We need a commitment from not only our fans in the Red River Valley and the city of Grand Forks, but throughout the state. Players and recruits need to see a sold-out Alaris Center. When we get online and we make an offer to a young man, we need you guys, all right? It matters. Tweets, likes, retweets, gifts, those guys got to feel special, all right, that they just got offered by the flagship University of North Dakota. It is really important. It matters. We need all you guys. 1883 Collective, another huge way that you can support this program. That space is so important in college football today. Every dollar counts. We need to develop our guys, and then we need to keep our guys here, all right? Keep them in the Red River Valley. Every person matters. That's the only way we're going to get this done is together. Lastly, I want to thank my home team. All right, I want to thank my wife, Tiffany, who's my toughest critic. I want to say thanks for all the sacrifice. Can't be here without you. I want to thank my kids, Kennedy, Truman, and Harrison. You didn't ask for your dad to get shared with everybody else. But I have to. And I love you guys. I want to thank my parents who are here today. Thanks for always being there. Parents are always your parents. I still call them and ask for advice today. I'm excited, I'm honored, and I'm blessed to be in front of you today. I can't wait to get ready to work. Go Hawks.
Thanks, Coach. We'll turn it over to questions from the media here in the audience today. We'll start with questions for Athletic Director Bill Chaves. Once again, just like Dr. Armenkost did a very good job of showing an example, please state your name and affiliation before asking your first question. So we'll invite AD Chaves back up here and questions for him.
Bill Cullenholt, WDAY. How important was it to find somebody with how much college football is changing? You talked about that at the press conference before the search started as well. How important was it to find somebody who understood that changing landscape?
Yeah, I thought it was incredibly important. Coach Schmidt had said that we had gone over to see the new facility that will open up here at the end of January, and I thought he right at the end made a really poignant statement. I don't want to paraphrase it, but it was something like college football hadn't changed in 60 years, and it's changing like in warp speed every single day right now. And so you just got to be ready for it and be open to what's transpiring. And I think, the ability to see what transpired at Fresno, Washington, and San Diego State is important, because let's face facts, at the FBS level, we feel it in the FCS level. So I thought that was incredibly important.
We'll go here. Devin Fry with Valley News Live. Obviously, it was a quick process for you guys, but to get Coach Schmidt found within that 9-day time frame, just kind of how much of a relief was that to be able to get that done as quickly as you guys wanted to?
Yeah, I mean, there was always some dates that you'd hope that you can get some things done by. Obviously, I give Isaac Frichte and the crew a lot of credit, our interim head coach, to be able to get through signing day. That was a big deal. We knew the portal was opening on Monday. Some would say the portal seems to be always open. So I would say that, but there was an actual date on that Monday. And so, those were things that we tried to do, but I would say we wanted a thorough, quick process, and whenever it ended, it ended. And so if it leaked into Tuesday or Wednesday, that's just what would have happened. But I was hopeful that we could get it done by that Sunday.
Walling, KVRR. When you guys got the call from Schmidt that he was going to take the job, what was going through your guys' mind and the celebrations behind the doors?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I would say I'm pretty pragmatic through these things. I want the right person, the right time to come back to an awesome opportunity at the University of North Dakota. And I think I believe in my heart that Eric is the right person at the right time at this point in time. So yeah, it's exciting, but much like he said, I have that kind of mentality from an administrative standpoint. I'm a grinder. And so at the end of the day, I get in before probably just about everybody, and that's just the way I roll. And it's time to go to work. I mean, it's work time. We've got, let's face facts. We'd rather be playing this weekend. And so at the end of the day, we're not. And so, you know what? There's work to be done. So we've got to roll our sleeves up and get it done. Anybody else? Thank you very much.
We'll now turn to head coach Eric Schmidt for questions.
Tom Miller, Grand Forks Herald. When you left in 2019, did you think you might come back here? How much does this surprise you, the way it played out?
I left in 19 because I knew I needed to grow. I needed to learn. I needed to add more tools to my tool belt off of it. But this place has always been near and dear to my heart. Like, there's no other FCS job in the country that I would have applied for besides this one. Like, this one means something different. I want North Dakota kids and kids from the area to know, like, hey, man, we have a blueprint. We've been there. We've done that at the highest level that you can do. You can do it, and you don't have to leave in order to be successful, in order to get developed. You can do it right here, and that means something to me because I was those kids not that long ago. So it's always been in the back of my mind, and at this time it was everything lined up. It was right timing, right place, right time to come back. So definitely was always something that I followed throughout my entire time away.
What are a couple things that are like your biggest takeaways from your time away? What do you feel like you come back with equipped after having gone to a couple stops now?
Confidence. I mean, I sat in a room just like this, and Michael Penix Jr. is a eighth pick overall, standing right there in front of that room. Braylon Trice, who I coached every day, is sitting right there. You know what I mean? That room. Rome Odunze sitting right next to me. Those guys just want to be poured into. They want to be developed. They're just like the guys. It's no different than Simon Runfro or Bo Belquist or any of those guys sitting there. And they want to get poured into. They want to be developed. They have an attitude of gratitude. Like, you help them solve a problem and you help them get to where they want to get to, you are automatically bonded with those guys. So just to be able to sit in front of those guys, to lead them, I mean, everybody wants to talk about being a defensive coordinator and all that. I would say the most impressive thing that I've done is the special teams part of things. When you're a special teams coach, you're in front of those guys more than anybody else. You are setting the tone every day, the message of what the head coach wants. You have all the roster management abilities too as well, because you're the guy who's making sure that, hey, who's the third guy running down on kickoff? You know what I mean? When everybody's, I always say this, when everybody's leaving at the Alaris to go get a beer because we're punting, that's the best coaching going on at the Alaris Center right there, all right? Because that's all your guys coming together, and you don't get that much time sometimes to be able to coach those guys. So to be able to do it and do it at a high level and just, like I said before, the work works, all right? And it's no different at those places. I mean, Dale Lennon can coach at the places I've been at. Bubba Schweiger can coach at the places I've been at. Like, I was fortunate. Like, I came in with guys that were players' coaches. Like, they cared, all right? And that word gets thrown around a lot. They cared, all right, about those guys. They're here today. Like, I got guys at my wedding here today, all right? Guys that I played with here. Like, that is why this place is special, all right? It's the people, you know? And so that's the biggest takeaway I had is just those experiences, go winning, you know, beating Texas in Texas at the Alamo Bowl, going to the Sugar Bowl, and beating Texas again, you know what I mean, in a stadium that was probably 80% Longhorns fans, and then having the opportunity to go play Michigan in the national championship. Like, the work works. The same things that we did there are what we're going to start in January right here. And like I said, our guys, they just have to roll up their sleeves and follow the protocols. They do that, and this place will take off.
Have you kind of thought through what you'd like your recruiting area to be? You know, North Dakota's always kind of been North Dakota, Minnesota, maybe Wisconsin, and then kind of differed beyond that. What's kind of your vision on where you'd like to be recruiting?
Yeah, I mean, I think, you know, you draw, you know, probably in Grand Forks a 12-hour radius around here. Like, that's still going to be your heart and soul. Like, we have got to be able to do a great job of connecting the dots with those kids and be ultra aggressive in recruiting. All right, whether that's how we use NLI, how we use the university, like all those different, you know what I mean, avenues that are at your fingertips today. Like, it's a competitive advantage for us here today, all right, in this landscape to be here. I mean, look at this place. Like, it rivals, like I said, facilities-wise now, anywhere else in our league, all right, and places that are higher than us, so-called higher than us too as well, the bigger schools. So we're still going to dominate, all right, that area of recruiting off of it. Now, the good part is just the access now, you know, that I have on the West Coast, obviously, too, as well, and to be able to, you know, tap into some of those resources, too, as well. So we're still going to be, you know what I mean, upper Midwest, do a great job in the state of North Dakota, do a great job, obviously, in Minnesota, Wisconsin, in Chicago and Omaha, and those places. Like, that is going to be where we are going to have to do the most damage in recruiting off of it. But then to be able to go get, you know what I mean, some arms and legs from a few other places, I think we have the people, and we're bringing in the people to be able to be tireless recruiters, to be guys that can build relationships with high school kids and make those guys feel like this is the absolute best place for them to be able to get developed, and then go, you know, maybe to some of those other areas and find some of your arms and legs at times if you don't have, you know, those resources in your own backyard.
Thanks, Coach.
Hey, Eric, Luke Gamble from KFYR in Bismarck. Not many guys in this day and age would get a chance to stand into that introductory press conference with multiple former coaches in the same room. So what does it mean to you to have those guys that, you know, gave you an opportunity to be here for a moment like this?
Yeah, no, I was talking with my mom earlier today, and a lot less people showed up when I showed up here as a player. You know what I mean? I had to fourth floor McVeigh. We were packing a lot of things up that elevator, you know what I mean, at that time. So those guys mean everything to me. Like, there's certain people in your life that that you cross paths with that change your life. And I mean, Dale Lennon put me in contact with Kalen DeBoer. That's how that happened, you know, and we hit it off a relationship, and we're like-minded people, and you know, one thing led to another off of it. Bubba Schweiger, same thing. Like, there's something to be said about good people. You know what I mean? Like, at the end of the day, like, those guys are selfless. And what I mean by that is they're confident people, I know they're great coaches. They know they're great coaches, but they don't think about themselves. They think about everybody else and how can they help everybody else. And that's, to me, is what this is all about. It's about serving and helping others. So blessed that those guys were in my life, you know, and how they poured into me and just how they taught me. Like, we had to know football, you know what I mean, at this level. You had to coach it every single day. Like, when you went out there, like, it was important. Every drill, every team period, everything was just maximized to the absolute height, all right, that it could be. And I learned that at a young age, and it became the expectation. It became the standard. And that's going to be the standard here. Bill talked about it, all right? Like, we should be able to win Missouri Valley Conference championships, compete for national championships. Like, we have the resources here now, all right? Now it's a matter of our guys going to work every single day, and then us doing a great job of being able to instill belief in them. I think you talk a lot about football, and it's about blocking and tackling, and it's about skills for sure, you know, throwing and catching. But great coaches, the number one skill that they build into their guys is confidence and belief. And that's what we're about right here. And I just think our year-round calendar and how we go about our process will really do a great job with our guys of bringing that out and having those guys be able to be confident in the process.
Cullen Holt, WDAY, first of all, congratulations. You talked
Thank
about
you.
the year-round calendar. How important is it to hit the ground running? I mean, the portal is open, et cetera. There's a lot going on.
Yeah, it's huge. You know we have some spots in our roster where we think we can improve through the portal. We made some connections already. We'll have guys on campus. So really appreciate the guys that are here. There's a lot of good coaches, you know, that are at the University of North Dakota right now. Those guys are putting their head down and going to work, you know what I mean, every single day. So it's huge. I mean, this is a big window for recruiting, especially the position that we're in. Like, we need to go find some guys that can help us win, you know, and add to our locker room. Now, we have to do a great job yet of making sure we vet those guys, all right, and that they're the right people, you know what I mean, for this program. But yeah, definitely an important time for us, and we're going to hit the ground running here off of it. We already have hit the ground running, and we'll have guys in here this weekend.
Thanks, Coach. Appreciate it.
Yep.
Devin Fry, Valley News Live. We touched on it a little bit, but you know, just kind of as some of that came up through this same program, just seeing the upgrades that are in progress that they've already made. Just kind of what's it like for you to see this football area continue to grow here in Grand Forks?
Yeah, it tells you the commitment, you know, to excellence here. And I think it starts with Dr. Armacost. Like, our university supports this. You know what I mean? They do a great job, not just talking about it, but backing it up financially too as well. And it's awesome when you have people at the top that understand, hey, this is the front porch of your university, all right? If we do a great job here in the football program, like, the applications for this university will go up. Like, we could be great ambassadors for the entire university. And that's what we want to be, you know? So really excited about that, about the leadership, and just, you know, locking arms with those guys and going to work here every single day. Like, we're going to hold each other accountable. Like I said, we show up every day. It's how can I be the best husband, how can I be the best father, and how can I be the best football coach that I can be today. And that's what our guys are going to be about. You know, everybody that we bring into this university in a support role, the guys that when you get into a team meeting that are sitting and standing on the periph, those guys are going to be the best helpers and the best supporters that they can be. But it's always going to be about the guys, all right, that are in these seats. Like, we're going to get the right butts in the right seats around them, all right? That's going to happen. All right, and then we'll see this place take off. So excited about, you know, moving forward.
Thanks, Coach.
Aaron Walling, KVRR coach, you know, when the job was posted, you know, how quick was it for you to throw your hat into the ring?
Yeah, I mean, it was something I was definitely interested in. Wanted to have some conversations and make sure that, you know, the interest was mutual. And like I said before, like, when I left here in 19, I knew I had to grow. I knew I had to learn. I knew there was things, you know, different ways of doing things out there. And we want all of our players and all of our coaches to have a growth mindset. Like, you can get better every single day. Like, I learn from our guys all the time. So definitely, you know what I mean, had an ear to what was going on back here in Grand Forks. But obviously, you know, you're working a different job at that time, and you want to do everything you can, you know what I mean, for San Diego State and make sure that that we were building that program the right way too as well. But yeah, I've said that before. Like you don't forget where you came from. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, and this place, it changed my life. When you talk to guys and you sit down with a recruit and say, hey man, like not only is this gonna change your life for the next 4 years, like this can be a 40-year decision, and it was for me. And it was because the right people were around me. I made the right decision to surround myself with the right guys. So definitely knew what was going on, from afar, but really didn't dig into it until, maybe a few days after that.
Anybody else for Coach? Perfect. Thanks, Coach.
Thank you.
Thank you, everybody, for joining us today, both in person and virtually. Thank you tirelessly to our communications and content staff for putting this all together, making it happen. Thank you to Coach Schmidt. Thank you to President Armacost. Thank you to Bill Chaves on being here today. With that, we will bring this to a close. And for those of you who requested one-on-one interviews, those will be available in the meeting rooms behind you. Thank you again, everybody.